What's going on, everyone? Jimmy Like Halo here, back again, and today we're talking about Titanfall 2. Now, this is a game that released in 2016, right in between Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare. Their EA released it right next to their own game and their main competitor. What a great idea, guys! What a great idea. Also, in the year that people were really done with advanced stuff in Call of Duty. So by the time Infinite Warfare was around, people wanted nothing to do with it. It still sold more in this game, of course, even though this game is way better. But, that didn't really help. But I feel like it wasn't until way more recent years that people look back, especially around when Apex Legends was coming out. People really look back at Titanfall 2 and like, man, this game was good. And yeah, it is. That's why I'm making a video. This is easily one of the best FPS games. One of my absolute favorites. I remember when my friend recommended it when I was just getting an Xbox One. I'm like, man, this game is good. So this game had a campaign. The first one did not. It had a mode called campaign and multiplayer, but it was not the same thing. Anyway, so it has the campaign and the multiplayer. And let me just say, man, the campaign in this game is crazy. It's very like short and pretty simple, but like it's just executed so well that what the heck am I doing? It's just executed so well that I feel like every FPS fan needs to play and just experience it for what it is. And it's just like it's so unique. I don't know. There's no other game where you get a big old Titan in a FPS game and like wall running and double jump boosting. It's just, ooh, it aged so well too. It still looks great for a 2016 game. Also, I don't know what happened to this mobile game, Titanfall Frontline, but this ad has been in here. And look, there it is, Battlefield 1. Reason it didn't sell well. Their 2-day free trial of gold that definitely expired. Anyway, moving on to the actual game. Also, one thing I gotta mention is the little BTI load for the loading screen. I always thought that was a cool little detail. So here we are, Titanfall 2. Now, they did update the game since it came out, and they added like, as you can see, that was the last thing they ever did. That was probably maybe 2017, but I don't think they updated majorly ever since then. But anywho, as you can see, there's multiplayer and there's campaign settings, blah blah blah. But I, like, as you can see, there's very few levels. Like, there's only 9, and this is like a tutorial level, kind of like an MW2, the first one in the campaign of 2009 when you play it. It's basically just a tutorial level, so it barely even counts. But these levels, even though there's a few of them, they're very good. Like, very unique and good. So the first one is when you get, BT, the main Titan of the game, and as you go on the game too, when you fight using him, who's also the one on the cover. This is the pilot who plays the campaign, Cooper, and then this is BT. As you play through the game, you get these new abilities based on the Titans in multiplayer. Like there's different loadouts. So I'm gonna actually go into that to show you them. But before I do that, I just want to... My favorite mission was probably this one, because this is one where you travel between time, and you use, like, a little phase shift thing to do that. Like, you know what Wraith has in Apex Legends? You basically have that as an ability, but it goes, like, in actual time differences. It's really, really cool. That's probably my favorite one. Anyway, getting off track. My favorite boss you have to fight in this was actually Valkyrie from Apex Legends' father, which is Viper. He's my favorite Titan to fight. He's a cool guy. He's also the reason why BT's Titan gets absolutely decimated and you gotta put him in a new body. But anyway, moving on. Also, another thing I want to mention, this game has FPS boost on Series X, but the 1X version, or the code path, is 4K 60. Well, it's dynamic 4K, but it's like a full 4K on Series X since it has like the full compute power to do that with a better GPU. Anyway, there's an FPS boost that goes to 120, but that makes the game run in the Xbox One code path, which is only it's not even 900p actually. It's like 762p, I think, according to Digital Foundry, at 60 or 120 frames. So it's like It looks nice at 120, but the quality hit. Just play the game on PC. And I would say that normally, do not play the multiplayer on PC because it's chalked. The servers were like hacked to hell. I don't know if it's still like that, but I would just stay away from it to be safe. Just play the campaign. That's what you would go back to play anyway. But as you can see, this loadout system is very similar to something like Call of Duty, where you have your weapons, you can put a camo on it, you have like your little operator, which there's like different kinds in this game. So you got like the cloak guy, the pulse blade, which is like a little like UAV type of blade you can throw out, and then the stim, which is very commonly used in Call of Duty now. The grappling hook, which is super duper fun to mess around with. And then AWOL is a shield. I forgot how that worked. It's not like the drop shield in Halo Reach, that much I know. Phase shift is a really good one. They incorporate in Apex Legends for a reason. And then Hollow Pilot, where you throw out a clone, which is kind of like Halo, but also just not the most useful. Anyway, and then you have like your grenade type things. You got frag grenade, arc grenade, gravity star, fire star, electric, and then satchel, which is just a C4. And then on top of instead of having perks separately, which you have the perks here, but you also have like another perk, kind of like Call of Duty. You choose multiple, and then there's like you're choosing your execution, which is like assassinations in Halo. And then you don't only have 2 weapons, you have 3, because you have a primary, secondary, and then you have like your anti-Titan gun. So there's a few of those. Can you also have an extra pistol? How does this work? Oh no, it just changes. So your secondary can be your anti-Titan, then your last one could be your pistol too, which is interesting. But essentially you have 3 weapons, so that's pretty good. Anyway, getting off track. There's a ton of weapons. A lot of them are still used in Apex, like this R101 is R301, or R201 is probably closer. Then you have the Hemlock. This is, I forgot what it's called in Apex, but it's also in there. The Flatline, of course. The car is the Alternator, the Volt, the R99 in Apex. The Spitfire, the L-Star, like the Devotion. They're literally all in Apex, bro. They just didn't call it Titanfall. It's literally Titanfall, bro. Anyway, the Kraber, the Double Take, the Longbow, Eva 8, Mastiff. I don't have the other shotgun that's in. That was a different one. This thing, all these things are not, because it wouldn't really make sense. These are like Titanfall specific ones, the Wingman and the Mozambique, of course. But yeah, so really good weapon like variety. Like all the weapons are very unique and feel really good to use, and like the actual like grindability of this game, like how you get camos and like perks on your gun and like attachments for it is really cool. It's not like the most complicated thing ever or in depth, but it's like it's effective and it works and I like it. It was a lot of fun to mess around with. So that's just the pilot side though. There's also the Titan side where you have what I was talking about before in the campaign. You start off as like it's called Expedition, I think, which is just like it's basically just Monarch. And then there's Legion you get at the very last, which is probably my favorite. Tone, which is a cool one. Ronin is really fun with the sword. North Star, I'm absolutely terrible with. It's like the sniper. I cannot do it. Scorch, it's like I kind of can, not really. Ion, though, I like a lot as well. But yeah, that's all the classes. Titan is obviously what makes this game really unique and definitely makes you want Titanfall 3, man. Where is it? What happened to it? But anyway, that's about all I have to say about that. Multiplayer is really fun. I'm pretty sure it's fine on console. I don't know if anyone's playing. There was also this survival mode called Frontier Defense, where it's like a few waves of enemies you have to defend, like this big tower, which is pretty fun. It reminds me of MW3 Survival, which I always loved. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about this game. It's just one of the best FPS games in terms of like really good gameplay and multiplayer and really solid campaign. Very fun to come back to all the time. And it was made by Respawn, which are the ex-developers of, original Modern Warfare 2, which is a really good FPS game. Go figure, they would make another really good FPS game. But nowadays, they're only making Apex Legends, which is not a bad thing. I do like Apex, but I don't remember the last time I played that game. it used to be a lot more fun, but I don't know. You know, when games are in live service, like it's been over 5 years since the game released, and I'm just not really interested anymore. So it is what it is. Hopefully, honestly, an idea that I had was instead of just having Apex, they could have like Titanfall 3, and like Apex would be the Battle Royale mode aside of it, kind of like how Warzone exists, and then there's a Call of Duty inside. I feel like Warzone kind of hurts Call of Duty, like the games individually. That's just my opinion. I'm not the biggest Battle Royale guy, but I'll do anything for Titanfall 3, man. But anyway, that's about all I have to say about this. Let me know what you think of Titanfall 2 if you've ever played it, how you compare it to other FPS games. But yeah, that's all about I have to say in this video, and thanks for watching.